The problem we have is we're growing so quickly that we need to keep bringing in new employees to support that growth. And so they've got a lot of exposure and experience with more typical or traditional investment vehicles, but they don't really know about the alternative investment industry. So for us, we need some product training to help them understand, one, our clients and what our clients do. Two, how we're valuable to those clients with the services we perform and how those services really benefit the client, what it does for their business, so that they can speak to our clients more intelligently.
As a learning and development or instructional design person in this, I'm going to work with you and partner with you using a tool that I have here. This is ChatGPT, but there's lots of different learning language models that people can use. I'm going to use also a very specific prompt technique that I learned from this book called The AI-Driven Leader. You may know it's called CRIT. We're going to walk through that. It stands for Context, Role, Interview, and Task. Now, the reason why I use this is that it helps me move away from using AI as like a glorified Google, get me fact checks, or maybe even distill, summarize meetings. Those are good. Okay, so we're going to work together on this.
I haven't thought about asking the question the way that it was asked here, but oftentimes what I'll do is say something like I'll call on a stakeholder. What questions would X stakeholder have about this? Or consider if I were this role, what other things would I need to know? So I'll ask questions around that, but agree, Anton, I like this format. I hadn't seen that before.
The kind of the vibe out there in the AI world is that you have to look for what humans are good at and what AI is not, right? Continuously, and that always changes. But at the moment, the thing that humans are very good at is strong narrative, right? So having a strong logical narrative, whereas you might not have as a tight or logical flow with the result that you get from an AI. And so that's where I'm having them put their focus. And the other one is just to not be lazy and just take whatever it gives you. Now, as the hockey puck moves farther into the future, it's going to become more and more of, I won't care, right? But I will care what the result of whatever it is that you chose to put forward, what impact will it actually have?
Everybody keeps trying to skip over. We don't like process and operations. We kind of are like, ew, gross. Like, I don't want to think too much. I like to have the freedom to do this kind of stuff. I don't want to be boxed in. I don't want to be contained. But at the same time, there is a lot of repeatable crap we do, and AI cannot help you if you have not mapped out the consistencies of like, okay, if you have stakeholder interviews, no, you don't need to make everyone the same, but there are consistent things that you do or that you always want to make sure are accounted for. And if you never take the time to actually like say, hey, like across the board, we should make sure in every stakeholder interview.
One thing, and I was kind of blow up in the chat on this, but it sounds to me that there's a whole it's very diverse about the extensive experience that this audience has been using ChatGPT. So for me, I actually got into using this and taking, Marty, what you said, just kind of play around with it. I used it to leverage, hobbies. I asked about music or complicated TV shows. And then it helped me with the skill of how to ask it questions. And then from there, I got to feel a little bit more comfortable in building things. So maybe something fun is like a personality test, or maybe something is like an actual game, or even using random number generators, or, hey, let's figure out what the investigation is when I'm trying to look for some information on the internet. Where does it go and how does that work? So for the entry barrier of this, I feel that it can be very confusing or intimidating to some people, but I think the skill of asking it questions is really the big link for this.